as we go along, I'm really settling on it's like how to teach the really the process of learning what we're doing and applying it and reminding people that a lot of the things I'm talking about, or when I talk about the joint, how to fold into the joint, how to let the joint bend, really applies to everything. So on Thursdays, I talk to them. I said, it applies directly to the hula and other dances and any kind of movement. So looking back, if you study how you learn a form, whether it's dance, movement, yoga, that doesn't matter, right? How to move. They don't really talk about, just think about the joint, right? It's turn your body. They'll say fold the joint, or you have to bend over here. But when we do that, our mind is further away from the joint, right? If that makes sense. So I was talking to a former Qigong member yesterday, visiting from Japan, and I'm telling them about what I'm discovering and coming upon. And it's not that I'm the only person in the world, but it's people don't share or they don't look at it that way. But I said, if you look at a door, right, and the door is not closing well, we start looking under the door and we start looking at the door, yeah. And then finally somebody says, hey, try put a little oil inside the hinge. And you put a drop of oil in the hinge and everything works. Or look at the hinge, there's an extra space, so you gotta tighten up the hinge, right? That's the joint. So we don't to fix the door, right? To fix the function that everybody's looking at and everybody uses, you have to fix the hinge. Right? So when you look at movement, when we say turn, right, you have to turn. If you say let the joint fold, right? So you put your mind and you have to think anatomically. Just think about the joint. The joint just doesn't want to fold this way. It wants to turn a little bit. So if you forget this, really forget the form, and just let the joint fold, you're going to turn, right? And then all the weight's going to shift. And if I straighten out that leg, then it goes at an angle. My body is turned 45 automatically. If I want, I can turn the front foot to release some of that pressure, right? Because I've coiled into it. Form is still number one, because your structure has to be good, has to be proper. If your structure is not good, then you spend too much time supporting it, fixing it all the time. You're muscling it. Right? So form is number one. But when you think of the joint, at that point, just forget about the form, and the form tends to come out. Right? So you study the form, which way to turn, where's your foot, where's your hands, and such. And then when you go in that direction, when you shift, just allow this to turn. So the other part is that this is all review, right? When you shift, if you don't turn and you shift all your weight, I can still pick up the leg, but you feel all these muscles grabbing, right? Really strong. And if you listen to the very bottom of your foot, if you stand like this, it's hard to just let that go and relax. Okay? So why is that happening? If the joint wants to fold, right, this is the most relaxed position for the leg. If we don't fold, right, then what we're doing is we're holding that joint open. So we're forcing that joint open instead of letting it relax and turn and fold. So if we're forcing it open, then we're expanding the muscles, right? We're fighting that, and we're actually pushing away, and we're trying to hold everything stable in place. So if your goal is, say, more physical therapy, and you're trying to train and build up muscles, and you want resistance training, don't turn. Right? So if you have resistance bands and you're walking side to side, you don't really turn too much. You can turn a little bit into here, and you feel it let go. But if you're trying to force resistance training, don't turn. They'll force the muscles, right, to work. But that's not mobility. That movement itself is not really mobility. The mobility is to turn and release. Right? So if you want to pick up the left leg, fold into the right joint, right? And relax and sink all the way. You have to learn to let go at the point that you pick up the leg. So at the point release, what we do is we've taught ourselves to pick up that leg that we have to tense everything. So we start pushing away instead of continuing to relax. So you have to practice picking up the leg, just be totally relaxed. Okay? And then from there you can be a little bit more upright and shift your body. But you have to get rid of that habit of going down and then tensing and pushing up to pick up the leg. And so you just have to practice letting this turn and fold, relax, let this go. If I totally relax, I'm looking down 45 degrees instead of doing this. And as soon as I release the leg, you have to keep your mind here and relax even more. So you have to be 100% here so that this can be 0%, and 100% here so you can focus here. And if you're 100% here and focusing in the joint and allowing the leg to do and the muscles to do what it needs to do, then you can let go of the rest of your body. Okay? So Sung. So Sung is important, right? Sung is number one. And so form is number one, Sung is number one. And as you need to power everything up, then that heart energy is number one. Okay? So form, Sung, and heart. And then the other thing is that I'm seeing is the progression of exerting energy out of your body, expanding energy. Okay? So again, form is number one. So the first part is, right, if I'm going to push something, right? So Yvonne, come. So well, she just holds her hands up, right? And I want to push her. Right? So just relax, and you can take a step forward with one leg. You can take a step forward with one leg to brace like this. Yeah. So if I want to push her, right, I have to have form. Right? If my form is bad, if this is up, then I can't use my whole body. I need to be relaxed. So I have to have form, and then I have to activate my muscles. So I have to flex. Okay? But then I don't want to just be stuck flexing and pushing and powering with only muscle strength. So 1 form, 2 flex, 3, after I flex, I want to expand the muscles. So I imagine the muscles expanding outwards. But if I'm still using muscle strength, right? If Yvonne is just as strong as me, we're not going to get anywhere. If she's stronger than me, then she could push back and I would move. Okay? So form, flex, expand, and then the last part is something else pulling you.
What's the difference between flex and expand?
No, flex is like you flex your muscles, right? You tense your muscles, right? You're gonna make big body, right? So you have to set the muscles. You set the muscles, but don't just keep doing that hard strength, right? You relax and from inside outside, expanding the muscles, relax the bottom of the feet. You have to have your form. And then the number 4 is something else is pulling you. So imagine something else is pulling your hand. So either your fingertips or the palm or the back of the hand or the bottom of the hand, or something is pushing. Could be something pushing you. Okay? But if it's external, okay, thank you. Right? If it's external, that something else is controlling you, then you can relax 100%, right? Or almost 100%. So Sung. So you can allow your body to Sung by thinking something else is pulling you or something else is pushing you, right? Pushing your hand or pulling your hand. But I like when I play with somebody, I like the feeling of somebody pulling my hand, right? Because then it's really coming from outside. right? And I can just relax and just let that pull. So it could be a cable, could be a suction, but something from there. Okay? So those those two things overlay whatever we're doing. And so if you don't memorize the form, but you learn to play with the energy, right? Being pulled, being pushed, you controlling, you creating that suction, you pressing down, right? If you learn to recognize those feelings, and just by thinking of those feelings and having that come out, you can apply that to anything you do. Okay? And then if you're doing other kinds of movement, even walking is the same, right? Walking is a movement. If you learn how to just relax and let the joint fold, think about how the joint works, because the joint has to work properly for our bodies to move into the different forms that we want to do. And so instead of thinking so much on the outer body and the larger parts, study what's going on at the joint level. What is the joint doing? Like, what does the joint want to do? And if the joint can't do it, why can't the joint do it? As we get older, maybe we have arthritis, we have buildup. Maybe that's just how our body is. We have injuries. Maybe we were born with something that doesn't prevent the same movement, like our 2-year-old, right? Your 2-year-old can lies on her back and she puts her legs, right, no problem, behind her head. And she puts her feet down like this, or stretching it out, and it goes totally flat, right? Just totally straight, as if she has no ankles. And so everybody's different. Okay? And then you can study, right? Are your muscles balanced, imbalanced, strong, weak, and such, and ligaments and tendons and all of that? And are there things you can do, things you can't do, or what can you do? Okay, so earlier also talking about this muscle here, right? The pectoralis muscle, right? If you're pushing something from that, you want to flex this muscle, but from 0 to 45, if you flex this muscle, right, nothing happens. But right when you hit 45 and just beyond, you can feel the whole body start to fill up. And then if you flex the muscle from 45, from the right angle, right, 45 this way, but really a 90-degree right angle, then you can feel, wow, this flexing this muscle here, this pectoralis muscle right in here, that's when that power translates to the front. And when that power translates, you can feel it pressing. You don't have to go all the way here. Because if you go here, then you expend the energy out of your body and you have to let it go. So when you're pushing, you drop, relax, the shoulder blades come out, think of the back. And right about here, you can feel everything connect. And then you slowly start activating the pectoralis muscle. And then you can feel that compression, that spring. And that's really all you need when we practice. And from here, you just let it down, so you don't have to overextend. Once you go out to here, right, you're sending the energy out of your body. So in a lot of the Qigong movements that we're doing, this is enough. Right? Leave this spent and then come down. Okay? So those are review points. Right? So form is number 1. Sung is number 1. Heart energy is number 1. When we want to move and exert energy, set your form, right? Flex the muscles, and then put your mind inside of your body, expand, and then have something else pulling and taking over for you, so you can relax and you can totally sung. Okay? And when you push, right? When we do the Qigong, you don't have to really go past here. This is enough. Even from here, you can let it go. So really, you come here, you flex this muscle, and then you let it go. It's like a little explosion going off. You flex, and you let the wrist go, and you let it fall. But even in the Sung style, where it's the sitting wrist, right from here, this is all expanded, but you still release the tension in the wrist, release the tension in the palm, release the tension all over so that the energy can flow. Even though we're keeping the hand in this kind of posture to stretch and to stretch and to stretch. So you still have to learn to let go and use your shoulders. Okay? So that's a review of things I've covered in the last 1 to 6 months, maybe. I can't even remember. And that's peppered throughout probably the last 2 months of videos, maybe even 3 months of videos. I think this started before the last session break. But try to remember those things. Form is still important, whatever you learn, right? That structure, relax, and let go, and use your heart. So last week, I started to introduce, when we come up from here, start playing with the imagery, but imagine you're lightly grabbing the sun, and you bring that sun, right, like a large ball of energy, nice red ball of energy, you bring it down through your body. And as I do this, I can start to feel the warmth. So when we do our warm-ups, try that. As we breathe in, right, extend the legs, reach up. Imagine you gently grabbing the sun and you're bringing it down, right? Whether it's that reddish orange or the yellow, whatever imagery works for you, but slowly bring that sun down through your body. And if you think of space, the imagery of space, it's a relaxed, broad feeling that allows you to let go. You don't have to block out the images of the earth and the buildings and everything else, the trees. You think of space, it's just vast. You can imagine yourself just floating or sitting out in space, right? Just looking at all of that. So play with different images to find what works for you. And each image can do something different for your body. Breathe in from the earth, pulling that energy up. You could still imagine that you're holding on to that sun and you're washing your body with that energy of the sun, right? That you just keep cradling that energy. And breathe in as you come. Relax the bottom of your feet. Feel your legs expanding into the earth, sinking into the earth. Imagine that energy flowing up the spine, opening up the spine, the nervous system, washing the nerves, washing the organs, washing the heart, the blood, the lymphatic system, wherever you need it to go, washing in between all the joints. So when you come up from the side here, you can either stare out at the mountaintop, you can scan the horizon, or you can imagine you're staring out into space and imagine a picture of the stars and galaxies way out. Each one is a little different. And each one will cause the energy to flow through your body just a little bit differently. We're focusing on the mountaintop or the horizon will help the energy, the chi, to flow out of your eyes. It's basically eye Qigong. We're thinking of space is broader and more general. It helps you to relax. Deep breath, squeeze the chi through your body. Imagine you're wringing out all the muscles, tissues in your body. Slowly let it go. And then flows back in. And squeeze and wring out the bones. Imagine you squeezing out the bone marrow, cleaning it out. And then slowly let it go so all the blood rushes back in. And then focus on ligaments and tendons, twisting, wrapping. Right? The area where all your joints connect to each other. expand, Sung, and heart energy. Connect that sun in the sky to the sun in your chest. Connect your feet into the earth, the top of your head up into the sky, up into the heavens. Drop your shoulders, tilt the sternum up a little. Feel the head pulling, it's helping to stretch the neck and allow the chin to tilt down to help align the spine from the top of the spine all the way down to the tailbone and relax. Take a nice deep breath and turn your palms. Let it all out. Breathe normally and begin when you're ready. Finish the breath. Be sure to finish the breath. Feel the fingertips being pulled forward. It's pulling your whole body forward. Think of your shoulder blades pushing, expanding. Tilt the sternum up. Right at 90 degrees. Feel how your whole body starts to fill up. And just add a little compression. You can start letting your hands fall already. Letting the arms fall. The fingertips being pulled forward, the palms being pulled upwards. The palms being pulled forward, and the fingertips being pulled upwards. And then slowly letting it fall. Let the head fall. Breathe in. And out. And down. If you need to take another breath, and just relax and breathe. And don't force yourself to hold that breath. As you relax, as you learn the movement, you'll start breathing slower and slower. And then you'll find you can hold that breath a little longer, inhaling and exhaling. You finish the move, and then number 2, one hand up, one hand down, looking to the side. The bottom hand, let it drop. Let it drop just outside of the knee. Let it fall all the way down. Breathing in, fingertips being pulled and stretched. You can look at the center of the palm. You can look at the fingertips. Breathe in as you turn. Exhale as you come back to center, washing up through the forearm, passing in front of the heart. But whatever you do, at least the last one, practice looking beyond the palms. Let the lower hand fall. It's constantly moving, constantly falling. Come back to center right in front of the throat when you're done. Right? Don't rush. Make sure you're sinking the air down to your lower dantian. Turn your palms, drop your shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Fingertips are still being pulled and expanded. Turn the palms out, rotate the palms the whole time, feeling the fingertips being pulled outwards. And breathe. And pay attention to under the shoulder blades, stretching and squeezing and pulling those muscles under the shoulder blades. All the way down and then come forward, pull forward. And you check that your feet are relaxed and sinking into the earth. Top of the head is suspended, lightly being pulled upwards and relaxing the neck and the spine so it can be stretched. The fingertips are lightly being pulled outwards. And smile. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And do one side when you're ready. And allowing the body to turn. If you want, you can pull the spine to help the turn. And release. And then pull the spine. While you're squeezing the shoulder blades, and release. And then pull the spine. And release. One last time. After this one, go forward, right, front to back. Pull the spine and then release. And then pull the spine, and then release. One more time, and then relax and switch to the other shoulder. All the way down. Both fingertips are still expanded and stretched. I'm trying to open the joints, open and loosen the joints. After 3 times, come forward. And always, if you feel like you're really enjoying that movement, right, you don't have to cut it short. You could do it 1, 2, 3 more times. And don't force yourself to do it exactly like me. And if you learn the movement, right, sometimes you just need to do certain movements more than others. All the way down. Relax when you're done. And then back to front, and then front to back. All the way down. Pull the shoulder blades, slowly release and let go. And then loose circles. Just swinging. Just swinging the arms. Imagine your arms swinging to help you let go. And then slow it down. And then coordinate the movement. Think of the movement, breathing in, expanding the lower belly, and letting go, exhaling. Fingertips still being pulled. Something else is pulling the fingertips. So relax the shoulders, relax the elbow, just let them drop. And imagine a string connected to the fingertips, and it's pulling and creating this circle for you. It's being pulled from outside. And then learn to add the spine. So pull the spine in one direction, and it releases. And pull the spine in the other direction, and it releases. And pull the spine. If you want a big wind up, you can pull the spine, right, and create a bigger turn, and then when you release, you'll spring back. You just allow it to spring back and snap back to center. And if you can, look straight ahead. We have all this imagery. And keep the feet flat on the floor. You force the ankles to move. Force the knees to move. The hip joints to move. And so if you're looking straight ahead, then every joint in your body has the opportunity to move in this one warm-up. If you're turning, if you're pulling the spine and looking straight, the feet are flat on the ground. Last one, breathing in and out. So to add that much movement, even on that last one, right? I can feel my body oscillating back and forth, right? And just let that vibration go. Okay, moving to the spine. Start by holding the ball and then moving the shoulder blades away from each other. The fingertips being pulled in both directions. The elbows are a little bent. And as you're stretching, you can feel the rib cage and resist that temptation to breathe shallow. You have to relax the belly, let it expand, and really consciously expand and still breathe in through the lower belly. Still imagine that sun in the sky, and you can imagine you breathing in from the top of your head, opening the crown, and that air is flowing down. So many different imageries you can overlay, right? The breathing, the expansion, the sun, and what's going on inside of your body. Take a deep breath and expand. Even if your arms look straight, right? The elbows, the shoulders should feel a little bent. They should be loose, not locked. And fingertips being pulled and stretched in both directions. Drop your shoulders. Bottom of the feet totally relaxed, but you can feel the legs being pulled and sucked into the earth. You can feel the head from the giddy being pulled and stretched upwards. And just let external forces pull and stretch you, and you just relax and let everything go. Allow yourself to be pulled and stretched. And all you need to do is study Gung, relaxing, sinking the air down. Take a deep breath. Exhale when you're ready. Feel the fingertips being pulled. You take your time. Study the movement. Study the stretch inside of your body, relaxing and letting go. Go at your own pace. Especially with video conferencing, right? Go at your own pace. You know, technically, it's a little delayed what you're seeing. Breathing in as we expand and letting go and sinking and exhaling. Take your time so you can study and listen to your body and make small little changes, corrections, experimenting and seeing what works best for you. Try to get your palms to pass in front of your heart to emphasize your heart energy. Do one more time, and then we'll do our spirals. So pull the spine towards the bottom hand side, drop the elbow, and wash the outside. Release the spine, then pull the spine, breathing in, and then release the spine, and then pull the spine and look over your shoulder. Breathing in and let go. And then pull the spine and release. Breathing in and let go. And then pull the spine and breathe in. Look over the shoulder and let go. And then pull the spine, breathing in and let go. And then pull the spine and then come back to center. Right in front of the heart. Breathe in and out. Hold the ball. Relax. Pull the spine towards the upper elbow. Breathing in. Look over the shoulder and exhale and release. Okay, Bon, I need you to close the door and either come in or go outside. Thank you. Pull the spine and let go. Hold the ball right at the heart. Excuse me, Bon. Excuse me, Bon. I need you to either go outside and close the door. Close the door, please. Make sure it's unlocked. Make sure it's unlocked. Sorry about that. Zoom from home. Breathing in as you turn, releasing, breathing in, and releasing. Yeah, smile. Imagine just cradling that sun in your chest, being fed from the sun in the sky. Every time you release, you can just feel the blood flowing. Do one more time and we'll come back to center. Heart energy. And out and down. Yeah, so as you do this movement, right, you feel the fingertips being pulled, and learn to spiral your hand. So starting from the pinky spirals, so you have this twist instead of just a flat palm, right? You have a twist, and that it becomes rounded. First is to be round, but if you add that twist, that little spiral, right, it just, over time you'll feel that energy, how it's going to pull and how it's going to stretch the ligaments and tendons and the channels and such. So as you come up, if I'm going this way, I'm going to imagine my spine being pulled and then my fingertips being pulled, and I'm going to breathe in. So inhale and then release my spine. So I'm going to spring back and exhale. Right? So I'm going to spring back. I let that go. As I spring back, I'm going to pass center. So then I pull my spine and then start looking over my elbow or shoulder area. And then breathe in and then exhale and release the spine. So I spring back to center. Yeah. And then as I pull, the other hand will come up. The other hand will drill up. Imagine being pulled, and then spiral the fingers, breathing in and release the spine and exhale. And right here, pull the spine to coil, looking over the elbow and shoulder, and release. So you start playing with that winding up of coiling, uncoiling, pulling the spine, releasing, pulling the spine, releasing. If you imagine the muscles grabbing the spine first, right? Then you let the muscles turn the spine and you let that turn the body. And then after a while, you don't have to think of the muscles grabbing, you just think of something grabbing the spine, right? And then you're more released, right? Because it's not your muscles that's doing it. You're just thinking and let that feeling come out and follow the feeling. So eventually, you're training yourself to move by intention, move by thought, right? And you don't have to think, oh, I have to flex the muscles, I have to move the muscles. You just think about it, and oh, there's that feeling, and you can start flowing, right? And when you do that, let go and see how your body moves. Let the joints fold. Just have that heart energy, and the form will start to come out. The form will, you allow yourself not to get in the way of yourself, and then you'll see the form come out. Yeah, a lot better, a lot nicer. Okay, so as we move to the bottom, and we can take an opportunity before we pick up our legs to warm up our hips, just to play with energy. So just imagine you pulling the chi up and down. Oh, we can bring the legs back in. Legs can either be out, or let's bring them back in. Right? If you just pick up the leg, it's going to feel heavy. So press the other leg and sink into the hip joint. Right? You can feel yourself. Let this joint fold, even in the chair. Right? Let it turn, and then pick up the leg. Live right in here. And this leg should be a little lighter. Then form, expand. Right? Press, expand, and then sink into this hip joint. Let this joint fold, even in the chair. And just really sink into here, then this leg can release, right? And then pressing, right? And then just play with energy, just run through different ways to do this, right? Pulling the syringe up, and then pressing it down. And all the way down so it releases. All the way. One more time. Pulling the syringe up and creating that vacuum. And then gently pressing it down. And listen to the bottom of your feet as you do this. And releasing all the way. Pull the syringe up. You can feel your feet getting heavier if you relax. And as you press, you can feel your feet release. So slowly, you can see and understand how picking up your hands can either help to pick up the leg or put them down or hold them in place. And then imagine something on top of your hand, pulling, creating a suction on top of your hand. Right? Pulling and lifting from the top of your hand. Okay, and then imagine the suction pulling the hand down. Right? Like a vacuum, pulling the hand down. And one more time, pulling the hand up. So you relax and external forces pulling and doing the work for you. You just flow and follow that and let it go. One more time, pulling the hand up from the top of the hand and the suction pulling the hand down from the bottom. Okay? And then you imagine something pushing your hand. So something pushing your hand up, even more relaxed, and then something pushing your hand down. You just respond to that movement. Just let something push you out of the way and then push your hands down. Way more relaxed. One more time. Pushing your hand and pushing your hand. And every time your hand moves, even though it's a different energy, you can still feel your feet react a little bit. Let's see. Did we cover everything, right? Creating the suction, pumping it down, something pulling, something pulling, something pushing, something pushing. Okay? So we practice all of that individually, and on your own time you can practice one up, one down, right, to see how that works. And then as we add the legs, right, notice how pulling can help to pick up the legs. So whether something else is pulling or you're pulling or being pushed, see which feeling helps to pick up the leg. Right? So as we begin, we're going to pick up one leg. So we have to press and then sink into the hip. So this side releases, the heel releases. And as we breathe in, right, we draw that leg up. Keep the other leg sinking on the earth. Step forward, right? Holding that leg up as we step forward and then slowly letting it down. And then pressing and sinking into this hip joint. And that helps to release the other leg. And then slowly letting it down, right? And letting all that energy in your arms go into the earth. And then picking up the front leg. You see how your hands help to pick up that leg and then bring it back. And then let it down. And press and sink into the hip joints, which allows the other leg to come up and forward. And then pressing it down, the other back leg releases. It can come up and down. You pick up the front leg. Feel how the hands help to pick up that leg and bring it back. Pressing, sinking, help to pick up the back leg and then come forward. Pressing, help to pick up the back leg. So you can feel that connection of energy and release. And then the front leg. And relaxing, just using that energy of the palm to help the leg movement. If you let go of the palm, then the leg has to work really hard. Those muscles have to work extra hard. But if you're imagining the palms are helping to pull the feet up or helping to hold them up or helping them to sink, and it's a different feeling. The whole body connects. So if your form is there and you're relaxed, then the energy can flow. And then the palms and the legs can nicely connect the balance of the body. try one experiment. Okay, so right here, relax the arms. Don't use the arms. Pick up the front leg, bring it back, press it down, other leg out and forward, back leg up and down and front leg. Right? And feel the difference of how much heavier the legs feel. You have to work harder. And then, so let's start with one leg out again and then put the hands back. Press this leg, sink into the hip, and then begin relaxing, using the palms to draw the leg back, putting it down, and then stepping out, right? And back leg and the palms are still holding, and now they can let go, and then you bring. So you experiment, right? Using the palms to pull the leg up, release, right? So pull the leg up and then you release. This is still holding the leg, gently bringing it down. And then as you press the chi into the earth, you displace the earth chi that helps to release the back leg from there. And then you're holding that compression and then you slowly let that compression go so this leg can release. Right? And then you pull the front leg up and you guide it back in so your hand actually can come back. You can feel it coming back, guiding. So you have your form, be as efficient as possible, right? You just activate the muscle and then you add that energy, and if you add that heart energy, of course, right, that's even better. And then everything flows. So if your form is correct and you sung and relax, then the energy can really flow through the body and then you can feel that effect, right? Bringing the leg back, right? So I can bring the leg back. So if I press and I sink into the hip, then this leg really becomes light, so it's easier to pick up and manipulate, right? And letting it down and then sinking it and then pressing, sinking into the hip and pumping the chi down, pick up this leg and then holding that there, right? And then slowly releasing. So you play with energy and find the relationship of the palms to the rest of the body. And if you play this way, right, one hand pumping and the other hand just releases, or this hand pulls, right, this hand pulls and this hand will just fall, right, or this hand pushes, right, and they'll just cause that hand to go up because you're compressing that energy and such. And that's the one cell, one hand up, one hand down, the one cell. And if we stand and we shift, then we can pick up the leg, right, and step in and shift and step out and such. So in the second half, we can practice those things. All right, so let's see, we're doing this. Turn. Yep, we still need to finish our warm up to the hips. So still related. Keep the whole body relaxed, keep the palms and feel the relationship of that pressure, how the palms can manipulate that energy in the body and that pressure, that compression or release. So height of heart, relax. Height of heart is nice because your elbows drop, your arms drop, you're much more relaxed. So just drop the knee, right, to help open up the hip. Turn the opposite, so pull your spine and then pull the fingers out while you're breathing in. And let the sternum come up. And when you're ready to exhale, just release everything. Release the spine, bring the leg back in. And then pull the spine, drop the other knee, and pull the fingertips straight forward. Breathing in, and then release. And the other side, pull the spine, drop the knee, pull the fingertips forward. And then release and exhale. And if you want, you can open up the leg a little bit more, open up the hip a little bit more. But don't lose that imagery of pulling the spine and letting go. Pulling the fingertips and the spine, looking straight ahead and letting go. And take your time. So you can work on that imagery, developing your your intent. Just do one more time. And come back to center. So as you start doing this, right, you're learning to really listen to that energy between the palms and how holding that energy affects the whole body. Right? So you bring it up, press one leg, sink, pick up, right, and flex the ankles. So you can feel how pressing, sinking into the hip releases this leg, and then how holding this can hold up the leg while you flex the ankle. And relax the upper body. Let everything sink down and connect to your Tantin. Feed your body with the energy of the sun. And you can slowly study how, you gotta set the form, activate the muscles, but relax. And in the end, just energy. Right? You set everything in place, so you're just using energy to help you. Yeah. Small toe, big toe. Sorry, I think I did small toe, big toe instead of up and down the previous one. Yeah. And come back, right? So still holding, right? And then release. All right. And shake it out. Right? Gentle pounding. Tapotment, they call it tapotment, right? Tapping. Right? And then draw the heels up. With this one, you just let go and pull the heels up and stretch. But you could add that. You could imagine you're pressing down a little bit to help the heels release and come up. Right? So you're sending the chi into the earth to help release that, to make it easier to draw. You can imagine the toes being pulled. You can imagine the heels being pulled. Right? Right? If you need to shake them out, the bottom of the feet gets so stiff, and even if you don't think so, like I do this now. I don't know when the last time my feet cramped, but yesterday when I was in the house walking, I could feel the bottom of both feet felt like they were cramping as I was trying to rush out of the house and get ready for an appointment. So that stretch is a nice maintenance. So today, really, we reviewed these points that I'm studying and trying to pass on to you. Right? When you're trying to put energy out of your body, right? You push something or whatever it is, right? Exerting, set your form, then right, set your muscle, then expand your muscle, and then let something else pull you. Let something else do the work for you. And then form is number one. Sung, relax is number one. And heart energy is number one. Right? It doesn't have to be that, but it works for me. And energy is interesting. When you really study energy, right, it's not always the heart is number one, but sometimes you can manipulate and think of different parts of your body, and that makes the energy flow a little better. You don't always think of the Tantin, but as the focal point, but whatever you're doing, you remind yourself about the Tantin. So a little bit chi always flows and helps to cultivate your chi in the Tantin, right? Or comes from the Tantin. Even if you're doing practices, maybe you're trying to develop the third eye here, you're still aware of the lower Tantin, right? You can be practicing all the chakra, you're still aware of the lower Tantin. So lower Tantin is your battery, and you want to cultivate that. You don't want to waste that energy. You want to store it there, build it up, expand the capacity of it. In the beginning, you can, your battery is small, right? Like AAA, then AA, and then C battery or 9-volt battery, then D cell, then lantern cell, then car batteries, and then Tesla batteries for solar energy, right? That's really what you want. You want to be like the Tesla battery. They're restoring that energy from the sun. And we don't grab it and we don't force it in there. You just let it trickle and think about your lower Tantin. And over time, the capacity to store energy grows and grows and grows and grows. And whatever you cannot store, you let it go. If you try and force it in there, you're going to burn something out. right? Same with electronics, right? You force energy in, and your control panels, your circuits, whatever, right? They're going to burn out. They're not made to accept that amount of energy. So you let it go. You have to let it go. Okay? And to not waste your own chi, right, is the practice of pulling the energy from outside through your body and then sending it out. Okay? So your chi gets stronger. People say, "Oh, I can feel chi." Yes and no. Right? Your chi is there supporting it, but you learn to flow. You learn to use the sun. You learn to use this image. You learn to use the earth, whatever it is, but flow it through your body and then send it out. Right? Then you don't waste your own chi. Okay. All right. So it's we just run through the set, right? So we, to review that. Let's see. Oh, I know. Let's do this instead of the set, because really energy. We'll review a healing for the people who are going to leave, right? Because you can always go back and review the set. But let's do a healing movie meditation. We'll review. We'll review that. Yeah. Okay. So extend the legs again, right? And reset your body. Right, all those things, nice relaxed form, let go, soon, relax, expand, top of the head being pulled, tip of the tongue and the roof of the mouth behind the upper teeth, open the throat, sink down to your lower belly, let the hips go, start to feel externally your feet are sinking into the ground, being pulled into the ground. Externally, the top of your head is being pulled and stretched upwards. Let go of your shoulders, your palms, your fingertips being pulled lightly out. Open the throat, relax the chest, let the lower belly expand. Let the eyes a little closed, just a little bit of light coming through, and imagine you staring off into space. Right? Imagine some space picture that you can imagine, galaxies, the stars. Take a deep breath. Just the lower belly expanding and releasing. And then feel the palms being pulled forward, just like the first warm-up. And curl the fingertips a little bit. Relax. Turn the palms. Think of the shoulder blades and lift the sternum. And right after 90 degrees, the right angle, let the palms fall and turn the palms spiraling. So second time, coming in, and just breathe naturally. Relax. Shoulder blades pushing out. Right at that right angle, you feel it nice and full, start to fall already. Third time. Breathing in and out. And fourth time. Breathing in and out. Right? You don't have to go out all the way. Opposite from me, your right hand over your left hand, just resting, and then fold it up, and then swivel right in front of your heart. And opposite from me, your right hand, you lift the elbow up, open the joint, your left hand on your sternum, and gently pressing up and looking up a little bit, not too much. Don't strain your neck. And then switch. So your right elbow comes down, your left elbow comes up, so opposite from me. And just breathe naturally. At least one breath. And then turn your palm and allow your left hand to come down. So remember, mirror, you're doing opposite from me. Pull your spine to your right. And then release the spine and release the tension in your wrist and your arms so they relax. And then pull your spine to the left and drag the hands with you. And the right hand comes up. Release the spine and then pull the spine to your right. And then the hand switch, so left hand up, right hand down. Release the spine and then pull the spine to the left. As you release the spine, let your left hand come inside. Both palms turn out, wrist over wrist. And gently expand forward and rise a little bit. And then separate elbows down. Rotate your palms to face your forehead, the center of your forehead. Drop your shoulders and elbows and rotate the palm. And feel your palms expanding outwards. And then rotate, drop your shoulders and elbows. And if you feel like your body wants to turn and rotate, just let it turn and rotate. Don't get in the way of what your body wants to do. After 3 times, bring your fingertips together. Come in front of your heart. Right? So we call this a heart-piercing meditation. Right? At least 1 breath and then open and extend and curl your palms to spiral and then begin again. Breathing in and out and down. Just breathe naturally, curling and spiraling your palms. Second time. Shoulder blades expanding, palms being pulled forward and then slowly falling. And third time and spiraling. And fourth time. Right? Notice I don't need to expand my hands all the way out. After the fourth time, right palm on top of left palm, opposite from me. Right palm on top of left palm. Fold it in, then swivel down in front of the heart. Then your right elbow comes up first, your left palm on the sternum. And don't look straight up. That's too much stress on our necks. If you baby, you can do that. Turn your right palm up, create a shelf, and down. Relax and drop your shoulders and pull your spine to the right. Release and then pull your spine to the left. Drag your hands with you. Right hand up, pull the spine to the left, and then release the spine. Expand the palms. Pull the spine to the right. Let the palms switch. Left palm up, release, and then pull your spine to the left. As you release, the left hand comes inside. Both palms turn out. Wrist on wrist, and 3 times. Not too high. Okay. Drop your shoulders and elbows. Come back in towards the center of your forehead. See that sun, right, over your head, feeding that energy down into your body, to your heart, where your own little sun is floating. Smile, inner smile. After the third time, fingertips and palm in front of the heart. One more time. You do this for yourself as healing, but if you want, you can project it to somebody else. You can imagine just feeding that energy to them, connect your heart energy to theirs. You can visualize them doing it with you, even if you're not there with them. You just take your time and smile. You can imagine the sun over their head, feeding their heart energy, their sun. One more time. Sorry if I lose count. Part of the message is don't worry if you lose count. You just finish the move wherever you are. Okay, your right hand over your left. Hold and then swivel in front of your heart, smiling, expanding that heart energy. Right elbow, left palm on the sternum. Finish your breath and then switch. Expand the elbow up. Right hand creates a shelf at the solar plex. You can feel yourself centering right here. And pull your spine to the right. Just the spine, everything follows. And as you release all the tension in your body and drag your hands to the left. Pull your spine to the left. Right hand starts to come up, left palm starts to drop. Release. And then pull your spine to the right. Hands change position, release. Pull your spine to the left. Left hand is going to come inside. Right palm is going to be outside. Release. 3 times. And do one last time. Just whatever you can remember. Just take your time. Go at your own speed, your own pace. Yeah. Don't worry if it's right or wrong. Just move. Enjoy the movement. When you finish, gently close your eyes. Just gently breathe in and out 3 to 10 times. Relax your face, smile, inner smile. Any distractions, acknowledge them, and then bring yourself back. Release all the tension in your body. Just let it go. Your body wants to move, let it move. When you're done, just let your hands fall to the side, take a breath, take your time, and then gather to finish 3 gathers. And just take your time. When you're ready, we just wait a little while and let everybody finish at their own pace. Okay, make sure you open and close your hands, stretch, expand, shake everything out. Make sure you warm down. Yeah, for those of you, I forgot all this time. For those of you who are only here for the first hour, you should do the slapping and the other warm downs. Yeah, sorry, I just didn't think of that, right? Because I'm continuing. But for those of you leaving, make sure you're doing these warm downs. You can do a dry wash where, right, you can lightly touch and just wash, and just to help move the chi in the body, but end with that nice washing. And same thing, right? You can be gathering or like holding that sun energy and washing your body with that sun energy. Yeah, let everything go. All right, so those of you who I'll see you next time. Yeah, you have a good day. And those of you, I'll see you after the break. Yeah, I'll see you after the break.